Hi, I'm Clare Cooley. This is the Creativity Show. Bodie Werner, my son, the son part of Mother Son Productions. He named us. He asked me to work with him, and I'm so grateful. And this is one of the things we're doing. These live streams, this most recent one is fulfilling a grant I got. So grateful that they're so supportive of the arts here, and the people in the community and the creatives in it are just inspirational, and I'm learning a lot, trying to creating paintings, mixed media paintings of my life story, visual metaphors for my life story. What an incredible journey, and what a wonderful way to get back into painting. I've been writing, and I was executive producer on Bodie's second live action, I guess that's what we call it, on his series, Northport, 1999. Girl Scout and Tomboy, 20 people, 40 containers. So I do a lot of creative stuff, but I'm loving the focus of trying to put my life story in 12 visual metaphors, 12 paintings. I'm on 6, but I'm it's unusual for me not to do some art in front of you, but I think today I need to talk about what's happening in the world, and especially our world, but it affects the whole world. We're all connected. The United States, the air moves around the planet, the water, the earth, the seeds, the birds, which is why I'm wearing my crane stencil kimono representing peace, longevity, harmony, my first published work, The Book of Cranes, because I was just compelled to paint all 15 species, and I had the great honor of being allowed to go into the enclosures and observe them in real life and come back. That's in Baraboo, Wisconsin, the International Crane Foundation, and the co-founder, director at the time, let me just sit quietly in their enclosures to observe them. So they're a symbol of my art because they do symbolize they're ancient birds. The 15 species live all over the planet, almost everywhere. South America and Antarctica, I believe, are the only places. Their migration routes don't take them over, but they are a symbol of world peace for many people, many different cultures, indigenous people, modern people. It's time for us to really ask ourselves a few crucial questions with what's happening now, especially in Minnesota, and what is civilization? It's civil. What is chaos? War, fighting. Nobody really wins anything in conflict, but for a momentary period, there can be people that will benefit off of conflict, but it's momentary, and it's bad for everyone. It doesn't matter what we believe. This treating people without civility, without compassion. Who wants to live in that world? And why are these faces being hidden behind masks if they're proud of what they're doing? And what happened to we the people? So I'm very upset. I've been crying. I'm angry at times. I'm unsettled. I'm afraid at times. But the only thing any of us can do is live what we believe. And peace, love is more important than money, power, weapons, brutality. If you have to intimidate people into compliance, it is not loyalty. They will turn. If you have to take to get, then you are at risk of it being taken from you. And you have to live with whatever you do. So ask yourself, is this something I want to live with? Doing this? So we're at a really important time. And I believe democracy has flaws, but it is a great system that was hard won, and it's precious, and we should keep it. So, Bo, would you come out and we'll have a little discussion. This is the first time I've done this on my live streams, and I've done many live streams showing how to make stencils.
Oh. You take the tall one and I'll take the short one.
Well, doesn't that make sense? So there you go.
You sit there and I'll frame it up. Nice. Well, very beautiful set. Thanks.
Well, we learn, Bodhi and I, creative resourcefulness learned by doing. So it's really ironic. My father was a movie maker and a photographer, but he also had not healed his wounds, and he was dangerous. So I was not comfortable being in front of the camera that he was holding. So I think it's interesting, maybe spiritual synchronicity, that my son is a movie maker who I feel totally safe and has encouraged me to do these. And I didn't do them at the age, I seem to do things backwards. I didn't really go to school, but I taught every grade level. I don't really read books. I listen to intelligent people as much as possible, and books on tape and such, but I write a lot. I didn't go to any art classes or school, but I've been asked to teach. And so my life, I kind of lived backwards. So it's makes sense in my way that I wouldn't get in front of the camera until the age that most women will not get in front of the camera. And Hollywood tells you nobody wants to see you. And I say, how wise is it to forsake wisdom? Just, it's like, break it down. It's not civilization if we're not civil. And if we're not open to wisdom, well, we're dumb.
Dumb and wisdom.
Yeah, there you go. So, how do we help ourselves and each other get through this time? We say, would we want to be treated the way these people are being treated? No, we don't. So why is it okay that they're being treated that way? It's not. And why are you hiding your faces if you're okay with what you're doing? And what is it a distraction from? How long could we draw out this? Has this person and his associates been molesting children? How long can we draw out the answer to that question? And then this happens at the coldest time in this state, the harshest time but people are still going out and saying, no, this isn't right, and we have to do better. And we the people, and no, it's not about whoever amassed the most funds thinking they can do whatever they want. Jesus threw the moneylenders out of the temple, I heard. And I didn't read the Bible, but I do listen. And so, no, it's not about prosperity, should not be in charge. The greater good should be in charge. And if we don't do that, if we don't stop scraping the sea floor with chains to pick a few things out of it and throw everything back, if we don't protect this precious planet, our only home, it will go on without us, but we may not continue. And I've known some really beautiful human beings in my life, my mother, my son. I have a lot of people I could list, and I do not want humanity to perish, to go extinct. So how can we help?
I think that's a very good question, and it's the question everybody should be asking. And I think, there's physical action being protesting and demonstrating peacefully and supporting those who do that. And, and then there's also staying healthy and sane and keeping going. I think it's now more important than ever to make art, tell stories, and to process what's going on in a positive way. And it can be a little conflicting, to be an artist or a writer or a filmmaker in this time and think, should I put down what I'm doing, and is there a better use of my time? Is there a more immediate, urgent way that I can help? For me, I feel like I've always wanted to create story worlds and invite people to be a part of it, because those are the worlds that I can make the way that I think they should be. And maybe that's my response to feeling like I'm not in control of the world around me, the real world. But I also know that sharing fictional story worlds with people, that's how I have weathered so many difficult periods in my life, is other artists doing that, creating a place for me to go. Sue Spencer said, staying healthy and sane is so important, especially now. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and insights. Well, thank you, Sue, and we've seen all your going to the protests and the demonstrations, and we really sincerely appreciate you. And how do you keep going? How do you stay sane and healthy? We'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, we know she's a musician and a marvelous one, so I'm sure that making music and stepping into that flow of creativity with others too, with the community, you can see that helps people, which is basically my life focus and mission and purpose. We'll wait for her to get back if she's not driving.
No pressure.
Yeah, and say that storytelling is how people have been teaching each other, as far back as there was language, and before that there was dance, there was movement, there were images, sprayed on the cave wall with pigments made from plants or stones or ground up something. And so art has been a way people have kept themselves and each other going from the very beginning. And
I think it's also, it's where there's so much clarity about moral truths. You know, in all the movies we grew up on, TV shows, books, you know, you look at Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, you think about the messaging in those story worlds, you know, and even not fictional, you know, not historical fiction, like war films, you know, Steven Spielberg's war films, and just so many examples, from the most lighthearted cartoons to the heaviest, most, you know, disturbing depictions of things that happened in history. You see a common thread. You know who the bad guys are, and that's the beauty of you know, cinema and storytelling and literature, is the ability to just transcend all the layers of BS that seem to be happening right now and tell the truth, but maybe in an alternate way. Tell the truth about what's happening now in a way that people can understand.
well, life is so complicated. There's so many distractions, and people who try to control other people use that to try to use that to their advantage, and people can get scared and angry and easily motivated by those strong feelings. So people that try to control people use that. They pick an enemy, and how many times have we seen this throughout history? People, you know, focusing this disgruntled masses against an enemy instead of really looking at what's going on, and distill.
The camera we were using died again, but it's going to be back on in a minute.
All right. Well, this is a different laptop camera, and there's a lot of cords and buttons, and I have always focused on the more simplistic art forms. The writing, the drawing, the painting, dancing is the first art form, because I didn't need anything but me and the inspiration that nature. So
We're back.
We're back now. All right. There you go. Well, so we're talking about, well, my whole life I've always known I was an artist, and I had to be an artist because as a little girl I decided that I wanted to be honest and kind and awake. And I noticed that telling the truth through our art is the only way that we can do it sometimes without causing harm in our own lives.
Right. Sue Spencer said, music is indeed helping me with stress. I have a rehearsal in a couple hours. Thanks again for taking the time to talk. Yeah, well, your music helps other people with stress deal with their stress too. So I think that's, back to the point of what can we do? And, sometimes it's, what is it that you feel is the greatest thing you have to offer? And your music does indeed help people overcome challenges, and, you bring people together with your music, whether it's in the room, getting to have that mutual experience, everybody getting transported to the feelings that you and your band evoke, or if they're listening to it on on their headphones, it takes them out of the stressful world, gives them something positive.
Right. And it's why there have been some regimes that have banned artists and censored and burned books, and because it is a way to tell the truth that the fear-based controllers don't want the truth to be told. So what we can do is tell the truth in a way that doesn't hurt anyone, including ourselves. So that's why all my life my art is about nature in balance, because it is my deep belief, and I believe there's a lot of proof that we need nature. It doesn't need us. We need to restore balance with nature and one another. With peace, we can accomplish anything. With conflict, nothing is accomplished that's good.
Right. And artists, I think, as with everybody who is an American right now, we gotta kind of kick it into gear and share the best that we have, because we got to make up for the people who are giving us a bad name, people who are giving America a bad name. So we got to stand up to show that we're not all like that.
Show the beautiful American instead of the ugly American. There's a reason there's been that impression around the world, and it's arrogance, it's entitlement, it's aggression. And money is not permission to do whatever they want. It's money. It's a form of currency, and it is not the moral authority. If you have enough, you can do whatever you want. There are people that act that way, but that is not correct. That is not true or right. And don't dare call yourself a Christian. Jesus would really have something to say about that. I'd love to be there if and when that ever happened.
When he got deported.
When Jesus got deported. Well, back to, we're all in it together, and it's very, very important. And this is the hardest part for me sometimes, is to realize that even the people that would say they support wearing masks and dragging people out of cars and buildings because they're willing to do the humble work here because it's better than the life they left. Those who would support that they should have their children separated from them and blah, 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 all the things that have been happening. They're just confused, and fear makes our view very myopic. Love opens it up so we see it all, and we're all connected. We're all immigrants. Nobody came from this planet, because before we were here And then long before that, there was no planet. It was space, and things coalesce, and life and materials come from all over the place, and people move around the planet. Some people often daily flying around. We're all in it together, and I want to be proud of being an American. I want Americans to represent beautiful things like national parks, which did start here, and I'm very proud of that, and abolishing slavery. I'm very proud of that. There's a lot I'm proud of, but right now, we the people, the Constitution, democracy is worth protecting, and realize that even people who might say things that disagree, we're all in it together. We're breathing the same air. So let's find what we agree on. And I would say civilization is based on being civil. And if you don't want to live in civilization, maybe there's some place you want to go far away. How about Mars? Anyhow, and if you're not ashamed of what you're doing, you should, be willing to have your face and words go together. So what's with that? And
the only real solution to any problem is people working together.
Thank you. Yes,
it's the only way things get done.
And
so
there was resistance. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to say this, to the Nazis in Germany. But what they didn't do, what they did in other countries, but not in Germany, was organize. So there are more people that want peace by far than those who are okay with brutality. So organize. We, the people, need to come together and say, democracy, these principles.
Right.
No one gets to use money or power or position or title to say, I don't have to follow those rules that the people came up with together. So do what you can do to keep believing in the goodness of people. And
there's so much good out there, and there's so much good news if you look for it, and Minnesota is standing strong, and you can see the community and the organization, and so I'd say anybody who's looking for positive leadership, examples of leadership that is working, look at Minnesota, and we're happy to be here, and I think if you're not happy where you are, take a look at Minnesota. There are some tough things going on. We're all being tested right now, but we will prevail.
Well, I think Minnesota was selected because they have stood strong, when I'm just embarrassed to admit that the supposed leader of this wealthiest nation in the world would say that people were garbage, a whole race of people were garbage. It's just embarrassing. But so much is embarrassing about what has been demanding and getting a lot of attention. So my life policy is to do not give bullies control or attention. So my attention goes to things that help and what brings us together. Everybody wants to feel safe, cared for, like they can live in peace, do what makes them happy, and don't be confused by the fear and hate being thrown around. So there are people that are Bodhi once, she likes everybody. Yes, but there are some people I like to keep at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather feel, more connected to everybody because we actually are. So let's not pretend we're not. And let's get along.
Yeah, that's a good positive way to put it. It's important to acknowledge that, you know, the goal is for everybody to work together, everybody to get along, understanding and compassion, even with people you don't agree with. But we all have to acknowledge that there are some situations where tacit approval leads to people being put in danger. And so we're in a situation where there are, I don't have the answer, but how do you lead in your life with compassion and understanding for people who don't yet see reality? How do you not fall into the division machine? That's the whole idea here, is to divide people and to make us all weaker. And how do you avoid taking that out on your fellow citizen and your neighbors, and the people around you who might be confused, when really your anger and pain should be focused at the people who are trying to divide us? It's tough. It's a really tough situation.
Well, we're all in it together. We're all connected. We all get confused. Some people stay confused. Some people won't admit they're confused, and think that they've got it figured out. They think they're right. Everybody wants to be right. So it's, kindness is not weakness. Compassion is not meek. There's nothing stronger than what I like to call kick-ass kindness. Standing for what is right. And I did it once on an airplane. A woman beating her child in the restroom on the airplane. I confronted and told the child, not everyone is like your mother. And hopefully someone will protect you. We're going somewhere far away, and I had no authority, no power, but to say something to the child, to let them know there are people that care. And let the mother know there are people that care, and we're watching, and you're abusing innocence, and that's not okay. So to me, it's not okay to abuse people. And so maybe we needed to get woken up and allied with what is okay. Is it okay to abuse people? Would you be willing to be treated the way you're treating others? What all religions have in common. And just ask questions and tell stories that uplift and do things that keep you going so you can share positivity, because there's a lot worth saving. And that's what art is. And I love helping Bodhi with his story universe, because I love alliteration. So in the very beginning, so I could really wrap my brain around this world, this story he was compelled to tell. So it's humble hometown heroes prevailing against the most powerful predators on the planet. And I know it's silly, but it also helps me remember it, the alliteration, and is good and bad, light and dark, evil and innocence. It's, it's life, and we're living it and telling stories that here's the whole thing. help me. So hopefully it helps someone else, helps you. You help other people. Keep hoping. And that's it. And boy, I wish I would have figured that out at the beginning. I wouldn't have had to talk this whole time. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Talk till you figure out what you got to say.
Process. Processing is a process.
Well, thank you for being here, listening, and love to hear from you. And I'm going to get back to doing art. This is also giving my arm the rest it needed. I wounded myself on the set. I thought I could pick up everything and carry everything, but nah. So thank you, Bodhi.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, everybody, and we will see you Sunday at noon. And I feel very certain I will be doing art in front of the camera because my arm is healed and my heart feels better sharing this. And love y'all, and we're all in it together. So let's be kind to one another, even those we disagree with.